The Ceci family has cultivated the land that lies in the region of Andria in Apulia, not far from Castel del Monte. The biological production of fruits, vegetables and olive oil was begun in 1988 by Giancarlo Ceci. In 2000, fresh vines were planted over an area of 70 hectares. The first production of biological bottled wine took place in 2004. The grapes used in the cultivation are Aglianico, Nero di Troia, Montepulciano, Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay. The soil is shallow and permeable thanks to the chalky layers that facilitate the vines taking root and their irrigation. Only one part of the vines is harvested using machines. Giancarlo Ceci cultivates his land in the traditional manner, with all the respect for both the soil and his products. Vines like the Montepulciano, Troia and Aglianico are harvested here by hand with the greatest care. They're intended for the production of wines bearing the label Appellation d'origine contrôlée. There are roughly 4,300 to 5,000 plants per hectare on the plantation. As soon as the grapes have been picked, they're transported to the farm so the winemaking process can begin in earnest. Once their stalks have been removed, the bunches of grapes are pressed, again with the utmost care. Finally, the ensuing juice is poured into steel fermentation vats which are under a controlled temperature. The cellar, that can hold up to 9,000 hectoliters, is equipped with a cooling and warming up system of the ferments in the stainless steel vats. The temperature oscillates between 25 and 28 degrees, depending on the quality of the grape, and the process can take as long as 3 weeks, depending on the concentration and quality. The fermentation, controlled by various remontage, délestage and macération, lasts between 15 and 24 days. This process allows the yeast to ferment, the extraction and stabilization of the color and polyphenols to be regulated. As the weeks go by, the juice separated from the sediment becomes sharper before being poured into French oak barrels, where it will lie for a period between a year and 14 months. The wine being tasted here is from a Troia d'Appellation d'origine contrôlée grape and has lain in a barrel for 10 months. This test allows the winemaking process to be supervised. The wine expert is able to control the parameters as well as the smell, the correct oxygenation, the color or the quality of the tannins. These barrels contain Chardonnay, which has to undergo battonage. The aim of this process is to mix the ever-present sediments. It stops unpleasant odors developing, stabilizes the perfumes, and contributes to the development of manoproteins. Battonage is carried out over a period of 6 to 7 months. After protonic, tartaric and microbiologic stabilization, the wine is bottled on site. More than 800,000 bottles are marketed every year. The domain welcomes wine connoisseurs throughout the year. Today, Giancarlo Ceci, the owner, is playing host to some clients from Finland. It's an ideal opportunity for them to get to know wines little known beyond the shores of the Baltic. The tasting begins with Chardonnay wines, white wines of indication géographique typique. The youngest wine's quality comes to the fore during the year after they have been put on the market. They're ideal when drunk with seafood, cheeses and cold cuts. The other wines with more complex aromas and a nutty flavor are perfect with grilled fish and shellfish. Then it's time to taste the red wines. Among them, the Pago Grande, a wine origine contrôlée d'appellation Castel del Monte. This wine is at its best a year after being bottled. Served at a temperature between 16 and 18 degrees, it's the perfect accompaniment to cheeses and game. Made from the Chardonnay, Muscat Blanc, Aglianico, Troia, Montepulciano and Cabernet grapes, the biological products produced by Giancarlo Cecci offer you the best of the wine production of the region of Apulia.